Hello everyone, in today's video we'll be going over every Easter egg and reference for the Legends of Vox Machina episodes 4 through 6. Things are really starting to heat up as the Briarwood arc is in full swing, so you know what that means, a ton more Easter eggs and references. As always, go check out our other Easter egg and reference videos for episodes 1 through 3, as well as for the intro scene to the Legends of Vox Machina. If you enjoy the video or learn something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sure I'm going to miss some Easter eggs or references, so if I do, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's crack on. At the beginning of episode 4, we get introduced to a fan favorite in Criitcal Role, Jarett. Jarett is a Marquesian warrior. In the animated show, he appears to be a member of the Emon Guard, but in the campaign, Vox Machina hired Jarett to be the head of their guard for GreySkull Keep. We get a lot of Keyleth and Vax love teasers throughout these 3 episodes. As in the campaign, this is really where their romance started to kind of take hold. Percy finally dishes the deets on some of his backstory. We get our first look at Professor Anders, a man who was the tutor for the Dorolo children, who betrayed the Dorolo family upon the Briarwood takeover. Anders is one of several names on Percy's list, his pistol, but more on that later. We get another look at Percy's hair changing colors. This was due to torture and the trauma he underwent after being helicoptered by the Briarwoods. We get a deeper look at Delilah's powers. We see she has some necromantic capabilities, able to reanimate dead creatures. Percy finds this tunnel under GreySkull. In the campaign, I'm pretty sure this was specifically made for Vox Machina, the tunnels that is. We get our first scenes at Percy making bad news, his rifle. In the campaign, Percy already had bad news at this point and uses it regularly. I wasn't sure if they were going to actually put bad news in the show, but I'm very glad that they did. This gun is super sick. Vox Machina, while hanging around in their keep, are attacked by a set of wraiths or ghosts summoned by Lady Briarwood. This is very accurate to what actually happened in the campaign. Here we get some references to wraiths and ghosts and creatures of this sort not being able to be attacked by any normal weapons, as we see Grog's hand just go right through. In D&D, you need a magical weapon or a holy weapon in order to harm certain types of creatures, this being a reference to that. Here we get another Criitcal Role logo inside of GreySkull Keep. Also, this table that we see inside the keep is very similar to the table that the cast of Criitcal Role played D&D at. I'm not sure if this is a reference or my mind's just seeing that, but it really looks a lot like it to me. In this quick scene here, we see what looks like some blue poop inside of a jar. This is a reference to something in Campaign 1, where Scanlan drinks a scry potion, which turns his poop blue, allowing him to use the ability scry through the poop, so wherever the poop is, he can see using divination magic. A funny little reference for the keen-eyed fan. Back in Gilmore's shop, tons of references again in here. Go check out our other video where we go over all of those. I did miss one very obvious one though. This sandal here is Gygax's sandal, a legendary item in D&D. Vax gives us a little dagger, dagger, dagger reference. As stated before, this is kind of Liam's catchphrase for Vax, as he uses 3 attacks, often being dagger, dagger, dagger. Keyleth and Scanlan discuss a ziggurat, Omega foreshadowing for events later on, and a certain big bad evil guy. Once again, Lady Briarwood summons a bunch of undead creatures. These creatures are most likely undead Shosuva. Sorry if I butchered that. A canine-like creature with a tail with a point on the end. Vax uses a blazing arrow here. This is likely a reference to her blazing bowstring, an item that she had access to in Campaign 1 that she used regularly. Rip the horses in the carriage, they go tumbling off the side. This may not be a direct reference, but I like to think that this is a small little reference to D&D campaigns, as everyone who's played D&D knows, if you buy horses or pets, they don't last long. We get our first reference to residuum in whitestone. Residuum is a mineral refined from the whitestone that's found in, you guessed it, whitestone. It's a very powerful magical component that can be used to substitute other components. There's kind of a catch-all for all components, making it a very strong item. The group of people that are gathered before the Briarwoods are the ones that are hung on the Sun Tree when Vox Machina arrive. This is a direct scene from Criitcal Role, as is much of these episodes, honestly. It's pretty true to the campaign, a lot of it. The Briarwoods dressed them up like Vox Machina in order to send a signal to Vox Machina. We get a cool look at Whitestone in the before and after the Briarwoods. We can see the drastic change, especially with the Sun Tree. The Sun Tree was very important in the campaign, and I assume will be equally as important in the upcoming episodes. The spell that Scanlan found in the Dragon's Trove is likely the Polymorph spell, a foreshadowing for his transformation into a Triceratops. Another Easter egg in reference to that is inside Gilmore's shop. Keyleth throughout the episode's references to her Aramente, a coming-of-age ceremony in which, if she succeeds, she will assume the role of leader of the Ashari. It's very Avatar The Last Airbender-esque, where Keyleth has to travel to each tribe of the Ashari that represent a different element. Keyless killing of the Duragar here is a reference to the Craghammer arc, which happened pre-Briarwood arc, the first arc on stream for Critical Role. Vax's is his battle with a Rakshasa, a demon that would come back to haunt them after they killed it, and was a really cool kind of mini arc throughout Campaign 1. I believe that the creature that Grog kills here is a bullet, a type of kind of sand shark bug thing. We got our first reference and viewing of the list. Scratched on the side of each of the barrels is a name, a person that Percy intends to take revenge on. This little sign here says the Alcove, a magical shop that was in Whitestone that the group visited in the campaign. Here we get our first look at Captain Stonefall, or Sir Stonefall, another person that is on Percy's list. Here's our first Matt Mercer sighting of the episode. Also, this guy next to him feels like he might be a reference to another person, possibly Gary Gygax, but maybe I'm just seeing things. Again, we see Matt Mercer and the potential Gary Gygax. We get our first reference to Keeper Yenin, a holy person within the city of Whitestone. In the show, Keeper Yenin is a female, while in the campaign, Keeper Yenin was an old man, a little gender bender. Archibald's character as well is quite different in the campaign from in the animated show. In the campaign, he is an old man and mentor to Percy, while in the show, they are portrayed to be childhood friends. Here we see Gordon Vedmeyer, aka the Duke, a Goliath like Grog. Fans of the Critical Role campaign will know all about the Duke and the famous Scanlan solo mission with his Triceratops. Here we get a classic reference to the D&D planning phase. Everyone who's played D&D knows about the frantic planning that comes up whenever a big mission is ahead, and how oftentimes the party can spend an hour to 2 hours literally just planning. Also, the map here of the barracks that the party is looking at, I'm almost 99% sure is an exact copy of the map of the barracks that Matt Mercer used in the Critical Role D&D campaign. Speaking of maps, the map we see the Resistance looking at of Whitestone is almost an exact copy of the physical map that was given to the players in Critical Role during the campaign. We get our first look at Bad News and its super cool scope type system that Percy has set up. Also, I guess this is their bag of holding. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger. It's tiny. Vex makes a splitting the party D&D joke. Yep, when did splitting the party ever come to anything good? The group struggle with another locked door, Vox Machina's forever enemy. Again, a lot of these moments through these episodes are direct references to the campaign, whether it be voice lines or being stuck at a door. Percy shoots the head off of Sir Stonefell's hammer, a reference to one of his gunslinger abilities, which he often uses to disarm his opponents. Finally, we get the news that Cassandra, Percy's sister, is in fact alive, and we get our first look at her. We see Cassandra's hair, like Percy's, has changed from trauma and torture as well. Cassandra, after attempting to flee with Percy, is wounded by an arrow. Afterwards, she is saved and taken in by the Briarwoods, who look to brainwash her and use her name as a Dorolo for legitimacy. And yeah, that's it for all of the Easter eggs and references I could find for episodes 4 through 6 of the Legends of Vox Machina. Again, I'm sure I missed some stuff. You really have to go through with a fine-tooth comb to find all of these things. So let me know, what did I miss in the comments below? As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out some of our other Legends of Vox Machina content, whether it be our breakdowns, other Easter egg or reference videos, or videos comparing scenes directly from the campaign with the show itself. Really enjoyed episodes 4 through 6. The series is really starting to heat up. Expect more Legends of Vox Machina content all the way. As always, I hope to see you all in the next video. Stay safe out there. Peace, love, adieu.